See, with the platform so smooth, keeps the workflow tight. Efficiency and value, I say every single night. Risk profiles, they got 'em, man, it's no joke. North America's the stage and they never choke. Metrics on point, updated without fail. Chameleon carriers, they're on the trail. Don't play with unsafe companies, don't be that guy. eCarrierChecks, keeping it safe under the sky. 40 plus filters with the search that can drive carrier information in the FMCSA archive. Find your carrier with precision and needs. Location, equipment feeds. They got the keys. FTL shipper leads. They're right there for you. Real-time authorities, what they do. Crazy, breezy, ultimates. The dashboards, way freedom from low boards. They got it every day. eCarrierCheck's the architect leading the way.
Surprise, surprise, it's the boys from eCarrierCheck doing a pop-up show here. We're going to do a live demo on eCarrierCheck. We're going to let some people funnel in here in a bit, but we had some little updates that we want to go over.
Yeah.
And we wanted to give everyone a live demo on how to utilize our system.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of, when it comes to being a broker or carrier, you've got to just expand your relationships, whether it's via carriers, via brokers, via shippers. And, our programmers have been just going absolutely berserk on the keyboards, just tickling the ivories, if you will. And so we've got some major updates, and I'm super jacked for it because, you got to continue to find the way.
Right. So. And if you're on LinkedIn, everything you scroll past, it's relationships. Yeah. And, for eCarrierCheck, which we're one of the lowest pricing models out there like us, sourcing, vetting, you can really grow some really good relationships this way. Hey, Trey. Thanks for being here, man. What's up, T. Harris? But it's all about relationships on LinkedIn, and this is the perfect platform to do it with because you can run unlimited searches, call as many carriers and shippers as you like. This is literally like what do you go? Match.com, right?
Yeah, it's
unlimited.
For you older folk, it's eHarmony.
I love that. We got some people funnel in here, and I'll share my screen here. What's up, Tire Killer? We did a pop-up show today. What's up,
Looking hunko. So Tire Killer gets on yesterday. I love this. So we literally, have you ever had those situations? I got, this is really embarrassing. The other day I was making a call. I was like around a bunch of people, and I call, and what I didn't realize was I got her voicemail. I didn't realize. I thought she was answering the friggin' phone, and sure enough, it was like, hey, this is, and I can't remember who I was leaving a voicemail for. And then I was like, oh, that's her voicemail. So we posted a video yesterday. Old Tire Killer goes, is this thing live?
That tells me he has his notifications on, man.
You got your notifications on. Thank you, brother. Thank you. We appreciate it. Where are you at today, man? I'd like to know where you're at. Charles Mundy, what is going on? He just posted something on. I never know. Charles, I got to give it a little credit. I never know when you go live exactly, but like you posted it on LinkedIn. I was like, Mundy's in the house. Yeah, I love this guy. Yeah, such a good. He is the godfather of friggin' training, man. This guy's incredible. Tire Killer, wishing you a safe road. Yeah, I'd be curious where you're at, Tire Killer. Yeah, always good to see you.
It is, man. It's good to see people here today. I love it for a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone having their notifications on.
That's awesome. Pop-up show.
Independence, Kansas. I've been there before.
Really?
Been there. During the summer, it was hot and humid.
Kansas.
Yeah, man.
It is Kansas.
Little state baseball down there.
Stay out of the weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's you don't need a hailed out truck.
Right.
That situation.
So we had some pretty good updates that we dropped just last night. When I say we, I mean our dev team. I don't think they sleep. No. Broker training tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Oh everyone, my gosh!
Soak that in.
Gotta watch it. Drop your YouTube link in here too. Yep. Money's in the house, man. This guy's incredible.
But we dropped some updates last night. We did some security updates. We're always trying to protect our data. What company isn't? I like to call it our Apple update. Apple's always dropping updates on me. I know you're not an Apple fan, but I just love Apple. I don't know who's out there that loves Apple, but kudos to you.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I love that we dropped these updates. Yep. We dropped a few on the carriers as well. mainly because we've heard a lot of feedback from our users, and they're wanting to see these updates.
Yeah.
Basically, it's more user-friendly pushes here, and Charles Mundy threw the link on there. So take that link.
Oh, and he got the meeting idea. I love
Huge.
that.
He came
That's
through.
ridiculous. It's so good. Charles Mundy is the best. You know what I think? When I think of eCarrierCheck, like what makes us different? You know, we all have the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Right? And what eCarrierCheck does for you is if you're a broker, if you're a carrier, you're trying to look things up in a quick manner. I eat apples. I need to. I saw this guy. I was following this guy on
relationships. Exactly, Charles.
I was following this guy on TikTok, and he was talking about eating an apple a day and what the changes it had to his body.
Yeah.
Phenomenal story. I'm not going to get into his digestive system and his bowel movements, but what an incredible story. I really enjoyed it.
You know what they say, an apple a day, man.
Yeah. Either way, back to eCarrierCheck. God, I just get so sidetracked.
Yep.
You know what this has done and what it did for me, especially as a broker? This thing saved me so much time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Whether I'm trying to find a carrier or I'm trying to find a shipper, why not choose a platform that helps you save time?
Mm-hmm.
That's our ultimate goal. We are providing a platform that's competitive in pricing. There's no links, like you don't have to buy credits to see our shippers. Yep. You can look at as many carriers as you want and brokers as you want. It is the most epic efficiency tool to have as a broker when it comes to saving time.
100%.
Right? Because you can find carriers that are running lanes. You can find carriers that run specific types of commodities. We had a broker call the other day, and he said, "Hey, I'm looking for hazmat tanker, multi-compartment trailers."
That was a different one, yeah.
It was wild. 34 minutes later, 30, 40 emails. Guess what he found? That.
Right.
You're not going to find that on any other site.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And if you post it, I'm sure that it'd be sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you got lucky, but
Go ahead. I was just going to say, so we had a great debate this morning, which I think is really interesting. I'd be interested to have people do this for me. Put it in the comments. How do you like your eggs?
Oh, I'm a big over easy guy, but if you were gonna throw some like ham and bacon, I'm like, okay, let's do like an omelet, right?
Really?
But if it's just the eggs, Justin, if you're watching, I'm an over easy guy, or maybe sunny side up, really, to be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You?
I love a good poached egg.
Okay.
But I don't get the opportunity to have them. You know, the secret there, if Moses is watching, obviously you got to have a little vinegar to keep that in there. But if I can't have poached eggs, I'm going scrambled.
That's what Mundy said.
Mundy loves scrambled
guy.
over medium. Huh? I like that. Interesting. But take a look at this real quick. Go into eCarrierCheck and let's just look for egg carriers in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like I want to see who is hauling eggs. White vinegar. See, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This guy is the king. Moses is the king. I love this guy. Not only is he part in the Red Sea, this cat knows how to cook.
I'm going to make my screen bigger. We might disappear from you guys, but we're still here. And let's go find some egg. So what I did here, guys, is I just ran a normal search. I went to location, typed in Chicago, and then I ran my search. I didn't even add any equipment. Haven't even typed anything in, right? 2 searches.
Tons of carriers.
Shit ton of carriers right there. Look how many pages that is.
1,130.
25 carriers to the page.
It's ridiculous.
Goodness gracious. Let's cut it down here. So I want to find carriers that say they haul egg, and I'm just going to do egg and hit enter. And then as you'll start seeing, if I hover over these little images here, or the percentage.
Is it kind of funny that they're called sunrise? You know, it's eggs and sunny, and I don't know.
I dig it.
I'm kind of into that too.
But you see how this guy does? They do eggs, grain, feed, hay.
Yep.
So we're finding niche carriers here.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Right.
Whether your business is to post and pray, at some point this year, I promise you, people are going to quit calling off load boards, and you have to have the number one sourcing engine in the entire intergalactic planet.
Exactly.
That's eCarrierCheck.
Exactly. And I think this sets you apart too, because when you have these conversations with shippers, they're going to want to know how you source your carriers. And you have more experience with this, but from what I heard on the phone, they're asking, well, they want to know how I find my carriers. Yeah. They want to know if I'm just going to post it. And then obviously they want to know if I'm hiring good carriers. So this is how this platform can set you apart.
Yeah. If you want a sales differentiator as a broker, explaining to them that you don't find your carriers on Dat and Trucks Up. You find them through a sourcing platform that's allowed you to, essentially kind of digitize your sourcing efforts.
Exactly.
Right? We have, phone functionality out of there, email functionality there, monitoring function right out of there. And then obviously the vetting aspect of things. And we haven't even hit on, well, you can avoid double brokers if you don't post any loads.
Right.
And just find the carriers that are willing to haul for you.
Exactly.
Heaven forbid we do something a little bit difficult.
Yeah. And like I said, man, if you get on LinkedIn, it's all relationships.
Yeah.
Relying less on the load board.
Yeah.
But then again, I feel like really nobody's
doing it. It's like your buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, hey, all you have to do is get on this phone and you can get yourself, covered.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't feel like doing it. It's not that easy.
And to be honest, if you do your job, one load pays for your subscription.
Yeah.
eCarrierCheck.
Absolutely.
All you need is one rip, and
Yeah.
then bing, you're covered for the month.
Yeah.
Everything else is profit. So, but yeah, look at all these egg carriers or these carriers that say they haul eggs.
I like that carrier is called Egg Innovations.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's unbelievable. The other thing that's kind of interesting, if I just want to go up here and type in egg and then just look up carrier, quick look up. Now we're looking exactly for
What's up, Jerome?
Jerome, what's going on? T. Harris, I'm still fishing for a shipper. Thought lines. Yeah, exactly. I get it.
Yep.
We got to keep going. Jerome, how's the world? You get an inspection last week, brother? I'd be interested to know.
Check this out.
Look at
I
this.
like this.
I did too.
Here's that egg innovation.
Yeah, we just find the word egg.
So all these carriers have the word egg in their name now. I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Now I'm freaking hungry.
Yeah, I am too.
I love this.
Time.
Now, I mean, I don't know what else you got to add here, but one of my favorite things to do is if you start finding carriers that A, want to start working with you, B, in the right area, or C, hauling the right commodity, throw them on a list. You need to remember that these guys are out there.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that either you're on texting terms or, hey,
something.
I got this load. Oh, I'm calling Egg Innovations today.
Yeah.
And we're going to move this load.
Absolutely. And that's as simple as just pushing that button. You can take people off lists, on lists. The other really interesting feature that these guys released is our export feature. Everyone's like, hey, I want to take this out of here. Guess what? Download the first 20 pages. There's only 7. Away we go.
Yeah, you were down Wednesday to help family and other issues. That's right.
Yeah, I get it.
Hope everything's good, man.
Yeah, me too.
And here's the nice thing about this export function, because we all have, or I've heard of a lot of people having these kind of loads that go south. What do you do when no one's calling, no one's picking up the phone? Well, you can export these pages, send emails, and make some calls. I mean, you got to kind of put yourself out there, and this is the fastest way of doing it.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, the net is only good as how many stitches you put in it. Right. I don't know. Have you ever sewn a net before?
I'll be honest, no.
No. So something that my father-in-law decided to teach me one weekend, which it's like my kids talking about, like going to school. Like, what's the point of going to school? Now I have to explain to them that they're 12 and they need to grow their minds.
Yeah.
He taught me how to tie a net. You're only as good in that net as the stitches you sew. Right. And holy buckets, if you are trying to put your net out there, you need to have a variety of platforms in order to do this. Right. A variety of ways. Phone calls is obviously the slowest method. However, it's the most effective because you're having a conversation, right? You can get right to it with that carrier. Hey, any chance you run 48s? Oh, you do? Well, what are the chances you go to Indiana? Mm-hmm. Oh, you do? Okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can be real pinpointed. I'm sorry, I'm looking for this carrier, right?
Right.
So,
and that's the nice thing with the eCarrierCheck is if you go into a carrier profile, you can see where they've been inspected. There's their inspection map.
Yep.
Now you know where they're going to.
This cat loves Chicago and Wisconsin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If I have something in his area,
Indiana. Yeah.
I'm calling this guy.
Exactly.
So huge benefits here. And then a couple of things that we've added are basically this top part. If there's anything that's a red flagged on a carrier, it's going to pop up right in front of your eyes. is their registration with the FMCSA expired or not up to date, or can they only run intrastate? We're going to let you know that.
Yeah. I also like this. This is a big update for us. It's just the inspected trucks. If you're looking and wanting to see, well, what do they actually have? If you go in that cargo fleet functionality, we'll show you who they have, and away we go, which I am a big fan of. And then the overview page, hey, here's some emails, here's some phone numbers. Looks like a couple different phone numbers that you can text.
Let's go down a little bit too. This is my favorite part. These are just all the risk factors, everything about the company or the carrier that you need to know in order to make a good decision if you should hire them or not.
Yeah.
It all comes down to your decision, but trust your gut. But we're going to give you some really, really deep facts on maybe why you shouldn't or maybe why you should. But at the end of the day, it's still on you to make that decision.
Absolutely.
If you have a bad gut feeling, just go away.
What's my favorite? Back in the day, just not to date myself here a little bit, but we used to go down real quick. If you're watching, when I was brokering with him on the basement of a friggin' law office, this is how we used to hire. There wasn't double brokers except for Landstar. They were incredible at it. But you just hired on the safety scores, the little kind of cockeyed truck and the old Rolodex and a compass, and that was what you hired on. Now we have to make a lot better decisions, a lot cleaner decisions, because that double brokering's out there, and it's here to stay.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not going anywhere. There's too much money in this industry, and they make money on the swings. Honestly, if you're a double broker and you're watching this, and there's a place for you. If you're watching this, double brokers should come out with a rate index, because somehow or another, these double brokers know rates, the spot market rates, better than anybody in the world. I swear. Double broker rate index, I'd sign up. Those guys know rates better than anybody. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen.
If there are any double brokers watching, put a 1 in the chat for me. I want to see this here.
I think I've only had 2, maybe 3 inspections in 5 years. That's fair. I get that, bro. Tire killer. What a double brokering came along fast and hard. Yeah. Like, it was wild. Like, there's Ryan. He and I are in the basement of a law office. We're just judging people like we're in higher. He's unconditional. Yeah. He's non-satisfactory. This guy's friggin' driving percentages at 90%, unsafe driving 99%. Now we're like, well, does he have an inspection? Does he? I mean, there is some crazy stuff that eCarrierCheck.
Yeah.
I can't even talk.
Yeah, you're so excited. Here's one of my. Sorry.
Go ahead.
But one of the most utilized, and I think the most important things to use on eCarrierCheck is marking as approved, because we talked about building habits last week, and if you missed it, go check it out.
Great show.
This is a good way to build a habit for you and your team. Well, if this carrier calls in on a load, or maybe you're trying to figure out who you're okay to work with as for your company, mark them as approved. Let your team know. But let your team know that you've approved this carrier. They're safe to work with. You've used them before, and then honestly, if something were to happen, which we don't, you have this to fall back on. You approved them. And at that time you approved them, their risk factors were low. Their company looked great.
Yeah.
So good things to have in your back
pocket. This is a big deal, actually. Bigger than what you think. 2024, the year of the triple broker. Oh my gosh. Well, they've got a rating engine, George, that I don't know how to get a hold of, but it is incredible how fast they understand the rates.
Yesterday got emails from 6 different people using different Gmails, all for a company with 1 truck.
Yeah. This is the wild, crazy stuff that's out there. Yeah. I love that. Well, that's incredible. George, the same thing. The other side of this, mark is approved. This at least shows when you are getting sued because you just had, a truck accident or whatever it may be, right? At least when the insurance comes to you and says, well, can you show me your due diligence process?
Right.
Bingo.
Right here.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So really good function there. You know what I do like real quick? Go out to, there you go. Go down to the equipment functionality and how you can sort it. This is almost Amazon-esque. This reminds me of buying pants on Amazon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you I love that you use that. We're wearing the same pants, by the way. You guys can't see, but we're matching.
We are matching.
But you want to find the best carriers that make sense. We pulled up a weird amount of carriers And if you're going after specific equipment,
Yeah.
specific carrier size, hell, if you want them to be low risk, you can do that. And let's just do dry van for the sake of it.
Look at the dry van type, though. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
So go down. See more.
Yep. See more.
Look at this. We sort it down. So every one of those other buttons on the top there for you guys, you know, as you get in there, if you go into open deck, it's going to show you everything that we can find, right? Flatbeds, flatbed hotshots, or stretch RGN, stretch flatbed, all this crazy stuff. Bulk, it'll show you this, right? You know, reefers, it shows you something else. But dry vans is the example we're using. And keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Well, it's a choose your own adventure.
It is a choose your own adventure.
So
Amazon, this like no
Yeah.
different than me buying pants.
Right.
Have you? When was the last time you bought pants online?
You know, I don't buy them off Amazon. I got to go in person and try them on.
I do too. That's the risk I like to take. I feel edgy.
I can't do it.
I feel edgy.
Because then I got to go through that pain in the ass of like putting it back in the box, taking it back and shipping it.
Yeah. If you've met me, I have incredible thighs. I'm looking for husky, loose fit. Those are the friggin' types of those are the type of filters. We don't offer them here, obviously, but those are the filters. If you're looking for husky type carriers, hold on.
Let's look for some dry van guys right now. And you can, you know, like I said, customize by company size or carrier size, you know, mid, large, whatever your niche or your cup of tea is, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously we can find you guys that are hazmat, driver teams, things like that. You'll find that other options.
This is wild, by the way. You know, real quick, just on this, you know, when we see, you know, like as a broker, you're trying to go, hey, how do I find maybe more driver teams, you know, team drivers, or how do I find trailer drops? These are like some magic sauce buttons for you to find those carriers that have excess drivers, excess trailers, or hazmat. This is like the sauce right here.
And I think people overlook this. Maybe we should move it up more, because you're right. I've had so many phone calls with maybe a driver team was needed.
I know.
And they're like, I don't know who to call.
Yeah.
Everyone that calls in, they're not teams.
We got you.
Bang, right there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like I said, you can, you know, decipher, well, I just want to have a low risk search, or maybe a little bit elevated, but you can sort by that. And then company age. You know, if you want some carriers that are
a little bit older,
more knowledge in the game, there you go. And then obviously axles and trailer length, things like that.
Yeah. One other thing real quick, and I think this is interesting, you know, for those of you that are OGs that are going out and finding those DOT guys in Texas or California, you know, and I know there's loads that are getting covered all the time in that way.
Yeah.
We do show the operating authorities for all of those. So if you need an MC guy that goes anywhere, right, or a DOT only guy, you know, this cat, he's living in Dallas and he just wants to go to friggin' San Antonio every year, right? That's the goal, right?
Yeah, we had a guy doing more. It was Texas to Texas kind of a project.
Yeah.
He found really good DOT carriers in here,
and usually their rates are a little more competitive,
right?
To be honest with you. So,
Jared's calves mirror the Greek god's calves.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I walk a lot. I do. I walk a lot.
But I kind of want to reflect back on, you know, just kind of making a list, or maybe just monitoring carriers. You know, we do have a monitoring feature on here as well, and you'll see these little eyes here to the right. So this will help you, or give you, excuse me, this will give you that ability to get reminders or just updated emails on those companies. You know, did this, you know, carrier, are they about to go inactive, or they get into a wreck? Or maybe they applied for authority, things like that, right? So we can monitor those carriers, and you have the ability to choose what you want emailed on. So that's what these little eyes are about.
Yeah.
I do have a brokerage that's they are big fans of the list features.
Yeah.
So they like to make lists, and they can share lists with each other. And what happens with the lists that they're using is they're making a do not use list or a double broker list. So when these carriers constantly, or double brokers, I should say, keep calling you, well, you have them saved on here.
Snap them in here.
You can snap them in here and save them. And hey, can't use it. You're saving yourself so much time, because you're always on the phone. Yeah,
you're constantly on the phone. In fact, we built this. If you go back, you know, we built this essentially. Yeah, I'll give you an MC. Just type this in real quick up here. Sure. Imagine you're on the phone. You're taking calls off the load boards, which is fine. It happens, right? We all have been there. But just type in 663-168.
663-168.
You click carrier. Okay, so 2 people showed up. The reason why is this guy's DOT and their MC match, which is fine.
Yep.
That's going to happen, right? But we'll pull this up for you. So if you're on the phone, it's very convenient. Just put in that smart bar up there. Actually is smart.
It is super smart.
Yeah.
And it's super fast on how you can vet these carriers that are calling in.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're going to ask, oh, are you with Iva Logistics? Or maybe just ask their company name, right? And then obviously I got it blurred out here, but their phone number's on there.
Yeah.
So if they're calling off a different phone number and maybe give you a different email, maybe you need to do a little bit more vetting on that.
I like that we show VoIP as well.
Yep.
Big fan of this. We tell them what the local time is. Shout out to the programmers.
Yep.
They'll tell you what time it is there. So for you that are dispatching in Pakistan and curious, what time is it? If I call this cat, we got you. Just go over that little I and we'll tell you. Look at that local time, 1040.
Yep.
So shout out to the programmers for that nifty little update for all of you overseas folks.
Yep. I do want to show you guys an example too, because this guy here, one amazing family, because we are all a family here. So I chose this guy.
God, I love that.
And I'm going to go show you a little bit of something here.
I love that.
So this guy is showing no active authority. This carrier does not have interstate operating authority and should not be used in situations that require interstate operating authority. Unpack that for me.
Whew. There is a lot going on here. So this cat is just an intrastate Texas cat, okay? That doesn't mean that he can't be hired.
Right.
It just means if he's going out of Texas, he's probably going to have to get permits, right? So this guy, essentially, if you look at him, and I'll show you why I know that. Look how we have it. Intrastate carrier, TX, right? So this guy he's been cooking for over a year now, 2 power units. But what we're just trying to tell you here is, hey, if you're hiring him to go out of the state of Texas, A, make sure he gets, either a permit to go out, or B, this is a good Texas guy, right? We just need to help him move around Texas.
And he's a good carrier, 4% risk.
Yeah.
Obviously, the red is only showing because it's going off of interstate.
Yep.
And not intrastate. So if you see red, it's okay. He's 4% risk. He's got an inspection. He's a good carrier.
Yeah. Majority of the time, people just want to. What we see is that majority of the time, not a lot of people hire DOT only carriers. They're only hiring MCs. Right. So that's why we've chose to do that. If you're trying to find, something that I always find interesting is kind of doing that mirroring of a sake. If you click into these carriers, you'll see find matching carriers, find matching shippers. This is such an interesting thing. If this cat just called off on you, here you go. Here's 10 pages of DOT carriers that can probably help you, right? So, all right in that same area. There's maybe some that are out of service here, so we may have to, you might have to clean through that when you're looking at the DOT guys. But something to take into consideration for sure. You know what I mean? Well,
it kind of circles back to that relationship thing, right? So if you want to have more carriers like the ones you got now, this find similar carriers button is a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Let's help you find more carriers like the ones you have now. Things happen.
Yeah.
Carriers fall out.
This is a part of your stitches, right?
Exactly.
When you're making your net and this cat falls off, well, you need to go do a handful of things, right? Let's go post to a load board. Let's get on eCarrierCheck and blast out some emails. Let's start making phone calls. Where do you get a list? You go to the guy that you just hired, put his DOT in, and find similar carriers because we're going to help you find his doppelganger.
Right.
I actually saw, I got to tell you this. We were in Omaha last week. I saw this guy that kind of looked like me. He was kind of more handsome, but he looked like me.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, it was wild, man. Like, it was really wild. He, literally, had the same shape of head and stuff.
Did you go up to him and you're like, Jerry?
No, I didn't really go into it. He was a lot skinnier, that's what I used to look like. I know. He has a better metabolism. Screw that guy.
I love it.
That guy's not good.
I will show you really quick because I do have another example for brokers that have assets. We're showing that a little bit different now.
Yep.
But really quick, if you guys do make a list on eCarrierCheck, your My Carrier/broker list will be here under the Find Carriers. And then here will be all your lists, right? Your double broker list, Maybe you got some Virginia flatbed list going on. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe
We're
it's,
helping Monday out.
yeah. But here's your carrier list here, and you can export things, delete your list in there.
Yep.
And then when we approved that carrier earlier, this will be your document vault. This is where you want to come and see all the carriers that you've approved that are okay to work with, or maybe you declined them.
I love that.
So you can see that there. The beautiful thing is we can take you back to when you approved them. Look at this. I approved this carrier on January 11th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Not sure why I was up so late. Approving carriers.
Yeah.
Maybe do an example.
That's what you do.
And then here, that's what their safety scores look like when I approved them. So this is good stuff to kind of fall back on, kind of save your butt if something were to turn bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But let's go over this broker search here really quick. And I want to show you a quick example on what it looks like for let me go back here. Okay. So this is just a broker here, and we're showing you that they do have assets. And if you click that carrier button, we'll take you to the carrier side of the company. And you can see it's checking to see if I'm human. I am.
Which is nice.
It is nice.
There
Okay, here we go. So here's the carrier side to that company. And you can see how they're, high risk. But they've, been in this game for a little bit while. They don't have any inspections. Let's see what else they got going on. Some information was changed.
Right.
Representative.
Emails, phone numbers.
Yep. Things like that. So a lot of changes to that company. But then you can also go quickly back to that broker profile and just kind of go back and forth and do your vetting process there. So for those of you that are hiring carriers that do have a brokerage, we're going to show you here.
Yeah. We'll definitely get you there.
For you dispatchers out there and carriers that are trying to build more relationships with freight brokers, you still have that same ability to throw them in a list, whatever you like to do, maybe send some emails, things like that. But you have that ability just like you were with the carriers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other than that, those are some of the big updates and kind of features that I think are really overlooked.
Yeah.
That can help you streamline your business, kind of keep things going faster. And the most important thing is to keep your company safe. Yeah, and
it's just a time saver.
You
can find people very quickly. It's just such a time saver.
Right. Let's dabble in the shippers here really quick.
Yeah. When you're prospecting, a couple things. There's two modes of prospecting, right? The first one is you're unmotivated and you're like, yeah, I need to find some shippers. We got you.
Yeah. No credits.
If you want to just explore some industries and kind of get the creative juices going, here it is. Click on the water treatment place or oil and gas, right? And we're going to show you a bunch of leads that we have in our system, right? And we've taken the time to scrape them. We find their websites. We find any email formats we can, any phone numbers, any locations, things like that. So you can get in there and really start to take time to go, okay, I need to get the creative juices going. If I get on Google or if I go to another, software that's out there that, may charge you by the credit. Have you ever bought a book and then you're pissed off like 3 chapters in that you bought the book? You're like, this book is garbage. I don't like to listen to the guy. The content's terrible. I hate for you to buy it, credit, like, and where you're just pissed off. Yeah. What's that word I'm looking for here? Where you buy something and then you just have like, you just are upset about the situation. I don't know what the name is.
So depressed? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But you can go in and you don't have to buy a credit. Right. We've got good leads, we got bad leads. We understand that. But at least, give them a rundown of what they're seeing here.
Well, I think it was Cody. I forgot his last name. We had him on the show. He does a lot of produce, but he had an interesting LinkedIn post this morning. You always want to go into a shipper to make sure that they're even a good fit, right? We have a lot of information here to help you decipher if it is a good fit.
Yeah.
Or not. You got to make sure you can qualify them, right? So lots of good information here to kind of just read through to figure out, is this something I can dabble in? Or if I get on the phone with them now, how's that phone call going to go? One of the most interesting questions that I get personally is, Nate, if I get signed up, I know you have all these shippers, beautiful scraped information. How fast can I get a shipper? And I'm like, well, how many calls do you make a day? What kind of shippers are you going after? how much are you educating yourself in that industry? Like, I don't, those are questions I don't know the answer to, but I do know the more calls you make, the more you educate yourself, the luckier you will get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And in this particular buyer's remorse, there's we go. You get credit remorse.
Yeah.
Credit buyer's remorse. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. Not enough coffee this morning.
Yeah, he's losing his touch.
Yeah, but again, we talk about time savings, right? You're sitting here going, I need to get out here. I need to friggin' do some prospecting. We're going to tell you where their locations are. I love the insights page because then it gleans in. Look at this. They make 3 different grades of sand. They have 2 different places. For whatever reason, they have a corporate office in Florida and then one in Arkansas. It shows that they're pulling this out of Arkansas. I wonder if Tire Killer's been this way. Cave City, Arkansas. Where's that from him? But either way, we take you to their website. If you want to go to their website, it just saves you a lot of time.
In our last show, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago or so, but Jared, you have some interesting points where you were using some of this insights to help leverage you on that sales call. You knew how to use the information that was provided, and you did it.
Yeah.
And you were able to have that shipper on the phone call for quite some time.
Yeah.
So these insights are important.
I think they're wonderful. I think it makes a difference in how you're having a conversation.
Yep.
What is it about? Like, go back into that. Like the local operations. What makes it state of the art in Black Rock, Arkansas, right? For processing and distribution. Is it because they're on a rail line? Is it because they have an over-the-head chute? Is it because they got an auger release system that allows them to dump out a load and dump it back up into the silo? What is it the state of the art? I don't know. Right. But that's what I find interesting about some of this information. Oh, look back there. Go back insights. They friggin' do. Look. Bulk frac sand via rail, truck, or barge. Maybe I just need a boat.
Right.
I wonder if we can barge the North Platte River.
Yes.
Like, let's load something up and friggin' just take it up on a boat.
Let's just try it.
I would agree.
What's similar to like what we did with the carriers, how we typed up the word up here in the smart bar. For example, if I just did plastic, you can do pretty much anything you can think of.
Plastic seems good.
But you want to find more shippers with the word plastic in their company name. And then there's 11 pages there that we've scraped and just tons of information on there, right? And away you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you're adding to your list, you're bookmarking, staying organized. If you call this cat today and then they say, we'll go kick rocks, well, maybe it's not a good customer.
Yeah.
Not a good fit.
Cold lead. We definitely have some CRM functionality in here that'll allow you to get reminders, email via text or phone numbers, right? So there is those opportunities where you can save yourself a couple bucks because we have a CRM built in here. Now, is it a Salesforce CRM? No. But, at the end of the day, we started a brokerage on a spreadsheet.
Right. Which is free.
Right?
Right.
And so, how many of you are just willing to go from a spreadsheet to just a little bit nicer? We got you. Right. You know what I mean?
And I think one of my top 3 favorites is this reminder system too, because if you have a good conversation and maybe you guys get another call set up, or maybe you needed a call back at a specific time, these emails and text messages and calls we can send out to you, it's so helpful. Because one of the things I hear on the phone is, staying committed, staying organized, staying disciplined. Imagine a phone call saying, hey, Jared, you need to contact Airlight Plastics and talk with Dave in shipping.
Yeah.
And this is what you last talked about.
Yeah.
This is where that reminder system can help you really stay disciplined, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Last week we talked about habits. 44% of sales guys don't follow up.
Right.
Don't be that 44%.
No.
Use eCarrierCheck's task functionality will help you make sure you remember.
Exactly.
So
reminder system, helpful. And then obviously bookmark your shippers, leave your notes. If you go into that shipper, like this is my last note I left. Right?
I love
Kick
that.
rocks.
That's nice of them.
That is nice.
Yeah.
So I love that there. We can see all your sticky notes, where you left off. And then obviously these little 3 dots will take you to their website or their LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever they got, we're going to pull it to you.
I still call it Twitter. I need to get off that.
I do too.
I need to keep calling it X.
I like this right here.
I do too.
We pulled a weird amount of Facebook leads.
Look at that. Director of Logistics,
just
Supply Chain,
I love-
Warehouse. We have some kind of keyword concepts where it comes in.
Exactly.
So that should help. At least you find the right person. You can
Right.
connect with them right away, things like that.
Right.
Time savers.
Yep.
All time savers.
Exactly. Your notes and lists, you can be found here on your shippers notes and lists, and you can see all the shippers that I left notes on. You see anything crazy in here, I apologize. But here's all your notes in here. Your to-dos, your current customers, your past or cold leads. It's all there to keep you organized and figure out who talked to who, what was said, especially if you're working with the team. That way you're not stepping on each other's feet.
Right.
I think this is very helpful.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
it needs to be utilized, in my opinion. One of my favorites is finding a random shipper. Sometimes you're having a hard day and not really sure where to start.
There you go.
You can find a random lead.
We got you. Find random leads. I'm telling you, sometimes prospecting is like friggin' you just have that opportunity to, you need some creative juicing.
Right.
You need a little bit of, pizzazz or smelling salt. We got you.
Right.
Smell salt.
Smell salt.
Smell salt
Need
Saturdays.
'em.
Yeah. Let's get it going.
Well, Jared, I love that we were able to do this live demo with people because, like I said, there's a lot of features that are overlooked that can truly help you save money, streamline your business, grow your business, and keep your business safe. So it's all on here. Like I said, sometimes it's easily overlooked, and we're here to help you.
Yeah,
we want to help you grow your business.
Exactly.
So anything you'd like to add before we let everyone go and enjoy their Tuesday?
No, I think honestly, I enjoyed the conversation today. Save some time with eCarrierCheck. We appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah. Make sure you like and subscribe. Obviously, there's a lot of people here today. Appreciate you guys for having the bell on.
Yeah. Hit the notification button.
Hit it, man. So we'll see you guys on